Welcome back. So now let's talk about how we can correct the euro section inside our code here to look like we have it here. Okay, so we have images over here, and I believe there is some JavaScript. So let's go back to our GitHub. You go inside the JS directory and you look for euro.js, and you're gonna copy everything that is here. And inside our assets directory, we're going to create a CSS. We're going to call it euro.js, and I'm going to paste the code we just copied and carefully cut this document and remove this export to default function, and let's save it. And now we need to reference this JS inside our team.liquid. So we're going to just duplicate this script, and I'm going to call it euro.js, and we can leave it to be deferred so that it is like loading after the page it's fully loaded. Alright, so next let's go back to our euro, and we need to correct the path of the images we have here. Okay, but before to do that, let me introduce you to some placeholder for Shopify. You go to the web, you write Shopify placeholder image, you click on the first link. Okay, and you're gonna have like this placeholder like this that we can use for our code. All right, so I'm gonna look for this lifestyle one. We're gonna go here, and we need to create a settings for adding images and also taking a link to go to each pages, to different pages. Okay, and we have the buttons here, so this we're not really gonna worry about it. And as you can see, I will, as we have like images, so we have this euro section like this, and inside is like a sliding image. So image is like sliding every couple of seconds. Okay, so the best way to do that, because we want the merchant to be able to be adding to be deciding if you just want to have one image or two images or three images. All right, so for that we're gonna use the blocks. So I'm gonna come to the blocks here, and I'm gonna create a type of header, and we're gonna give it a content, and we're gonna say here sliding image. I have an error here, so let me fix it. My bad, because I went different way, so it's not like this yet here. So first we need to give it a name. I completely forget. So the name here, we're gonna call it let's call it sliding image. All right, and the type, we're gonna give it the same name as we have there, so sliding image. And now we can create the settings, but before, let's add a limit of 3. Okay, and add the settings, and these settings we're going to have one type of the header. So we're gonna say here content, let's say add a URL for your euro, something like this. Okay, and we're gonna create a settings now for the URL. So type is going to be URL. You must give it an ID, and we're gonna call it let's say euro URL. Okay, and we're gonna give it a label. It's going to be euro URL, and that's okay for this one. And let's create another type, and this time we can use even the paragraph if you want, just for practice, and accept it accepts the content. So let's say we can say for this one, choose the image that reflects your business, something like this. And then we're gonna add another settings here for the image picker. Okay, and the ID we're gonna say euro image, and for the label we can say choose or add your image, does not matter. Okay, so I'm going to save it, and if I go back to my development store over here, I refresh, now we have this block, we can add a sliding image. Okay, all right, so what we're going to do next is we're going to add this placeholder and set a condition when the client adds the block, and it must also add a URL and the correct image. And for the settings we just made inside the block, we have it here. We have the euro URL, okay, and we have also like the image picking. Okay, so